Little more ready for it this time. Let's go. A junior X30 time as the senior Rotax drivers clear the grid. What a race that was. We're going to go to our junior X30 drivers. A pre-final decided by a penalty. Oliver Stewart picked up a penalty post-race. Hence, he's going to start on the outside of the front row. And Harry Burgoyne Jr. is going to start on the inside of the front row. And we got Gabriel Stilp on the inside of row 2. Brandon Carr to the outside of row number 2. We're going to let Harry get his kart down on the floor, and then we're going to go and speak to him ahead of this one. He kept up the pressure on Oliver Stewart all the way to the pre-final. In the end, decided to settle for second, probably because he knew he had it in the bag. Pole for the Kartmasters race. How does that feel?
Just another race, isn't it?
Well, of course, you've done all the hard work, but now it's time for the main event. How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Just normal, like another race again.
It's going to be a long race out there, isn't it? You feel that you've done enough preparation for this one?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, looks like you're getting in the zone. Good luck. Good luck. Oliver Stewart will come and speak to you. Next, of course, a penalty for you after the pre-final, but nevertheless, you're on the front row.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. At Kartmasters, you can be inside the top 20 and still win, so it's all about the last 15 minutes of the race that will be most important. So.
You proved in the pre-final that you do have the pace to go and win this. Yourself and Harry were pushing away in that one. What's the plan? Is it going to be try and make it a two-horse race, or just see how it goes?
I don't have a plan. It's just get to the front and go, see what happens.
Given the last race we had, you can never have a plan in Kartmasters, can you?
Yeah, definitely not.
Good luck. Best of luck to Oliver Stewart, starting on the outside of the front row. I want to have a quick chat with Jessica Edgar. Jessica Edgar gained 10 places in the pre-final, worked her way up into the top 10. We've had an Edgar on the podium already today. I wonder if we're going to have another. I'm going to come round and speak to Jessica Edgar. How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Quite confident. I hope I make up another 10 spaces, I hope.
You had a really good pre-final, didn't you? Worked your way up the field, and you've got yourself within a top 10, which is always a place where you can win from.
Yeah.
How would it feel to win here at Kartmasters?
I'd be so happy.
Well, best of luck, Jessica Edgar. Let's see how it goes in this one. We're going to have a quick chat to Gabriel Stilp if we have time, because he's on the inside of row 2. He's doubled up in classes this weekend. He's also been racing in junior Rotax. Very, very quick word, Gabriel Stilp, inside row 2. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling confident. I had a good pre-final. I made up a few places, but I got pushed wide on one of the laps.
Well, best of luck. You're on the inside of the second row. And Henry, DJ, I don't want to tempt fate or make too many people nervous, but I am feeling spots of rain out here on the grid, and we are about to go green in Junior X30.
Now, behave yourself, Chris. That's not what we want to hear. Thank you very much. The signal is given. Yes, it was Axel Sanyala that beat Guy Cunnington, not Mr. Kaskin. I do apologise about that. Here we go then. Anthony, take it away one more time.
Harry Burgoyne Jr. starts it on pole position. Oliver Stewart alongside. Keep an eye on those two. They've been battling fiercely all weekend. Gabriel Stilp and Brandon Carr on the second row. Finley Harrison and Harvey Ryby round out row number 3. Connor Duncan for Red Wolf Racing is up there on the 4th row with Sam Shaw Premium Karting alongside. Luke Watts and Jessica Edgar on row 5. Kean Geraghty and Charlie Webb on row 6. Charlie Rippin and Josh Agamar round out row 7 with Mackay Singh and Aidan Lynn on row 8. Joseph Rippin and Lorenzo Cordell on row 9 with Reese Lomax and Henry Gregory on row 10. Marcus Luzio and Ellis Stevens on row 11 with Sam Gornall and Jack Cox on row 12. Jude Ferrenho and Ethan Simmons, the E-plates, on row 13. Jay Holtby and Harry Cottrell on row 14. Mackay Taylor and Dane Tucker on row 15 with Freddie Allen, Olivia Algieri on row 16. Dominic Roberts, Rowan Campbell-Pilling on row 17 with Sam Baker and Milo Pinfold.
Now, watch for Marcus Luzio. Obviously a penalty post-race in the pre-final, kart number 11. Watch for him to be coming toward the front. Same goes for Ethan Simmons. Same goes for Reese Lomax. Up at the front, though, it's Harry Burgoyne Jr. who leads him to start, but it's a great start. Was it too great though. Oh, and 2 karts off there. I was going to say it's a great start. That's number 14 of Josh Agenbar from Prix. There was a Fusion Motorsport kart heading up the hill as well. That possibly could have been Charlie Webb, maybe, who has emerged in front of the field. Oh, we got karts on the grass coming into turn at the first hairpin. It's number 24. It is Charlie Webb. And Charlie, yes, exit stage left. You can see him pulling to the side there. Now, really, Charlie, you do need to let the entire field go because you've missed a fair old chunk of the circuit.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the best thing, the most sporting thing to do, I would say. If it doesn't happen, I suspect there'll be a very unsporting thing coming his way.
Via the clerk's office. Oh, dear!
My goodness me, Cox in the 73.
And that's the 73 of Cian Geraghty. And
red flag.
Red flag, instant red flag. You can see that is at the Fullerton S's. And right, so Mr. Cox is out of his car. What I've got to say now, Cian Geraghty is walking off there. I think he's hurt himself, but now is wow. If we've got a, I don't know if we've got a replay of that, but upside down, it was Jack Cox upside down on top of thing, and Jack Cox has put his car on its wheels and is driving back to the pit, to the grid. He didn't leave his cart. It was just parked momentarily, and then he managed to get it off. They called the red flag, and but the medics are with Cian Geraghty, who did walk away. We've seen him walk away, but obviously he is hurt a little bit. Red flag straight away. Now we're going to see at the back of our screens. No, I think Jack Cox has maybe come straight into the pits. But fair play, he got his car back on the wheels and was straight there. I can see Jack Dex, Cian Geraghty's team owner, is over there and already pulling his cart to the side. Cian Geraghty, you can see him walking away. I mean, I have never seen anything like that before, Anthony. Driver land on top of another driver, stay in his cart upside down, and then the cart rolled the cart off, put it back on its wheels, and drive off. Now, obviously, we hope that we're making light of that situation because we know that Jack is okay. We've seen Cian Geraghty walk away, but he is nursing. He was walking off maybe like a shoulder or a wrist or an arm or something like that that he walked off. So the race has been stopped. It'll be a full restart with 34 drivers possibly in the field now. Everyone else. So there's the number 20 kart of Lorenzo Cordal, just sort of getting out of the kart. There's Sam Gornall, just looking at on the screen there, chatting with a couple of the other drivers. Now word will filter down that the drivers are okay. That is important. Some drivers preferring just to stay in the car. There's Mikaya Singh, just preferring to stay sat in his cart. Now the ambulance is with Cian Geraghty. Now we've seen him walk away, but he obviously he's in some discomfort. So that is what we can say to Cian Geraghty. Obviously, so Cian's family are watching. He got out of his cart. He was signalling wildly whilst Jack Cox was like on top of him. Then he's got out of his cart. Now I think when the adrenaline subsides, the medics will have told him to just sit down, lie down. They're going to like go through his bits bit by bit to make sure that he's okay. We didn't catch the incident. We saw the aftermath of it. Now, Jack Cox was involved in an incident that brought out a red flag, so I doubt he will be allowed to restart, but he is okay. He was able to drive his cart back to the pits, which is the main thing. Everybody else is waiting and being to be given the signal. This is the penultimate race of Kartmasters 2021. Now, the re-gridding process, they hadn't completed a full racing lap, so it will be a complete restart. There's the number 54 MLC Motorsport kart of Joseph Rippin moving himself back into position. The 52, there's that ARC kart of Classen Motorsport's Reese Lomax. Reese and Classen Motorsport, traditionally a TKM based team. They've brought their ARC chassis into the world of X30, and again, Reese Lomax, their driver, doing very well indeed. Now moving into our picture there is the number 40 kart of Sam Gornall. So don't forget that X30, Junior X30 began life at Kartmasters in 2014. Joshua Smith, who was part of the Racing Steps Foundation, won on that day. Tom Wood, who has gone on to race in GTs, he won it in 2015. Callum Bradshaw, last year's world karting champion, won this event in 2016. Harry Thompson, who went on briefly to be part of the Red Bull driver program. I think that Harry may have stopped karting now. He won it in 2017. Clayton Ravenscroft, who is doing great things in the British Championship this year, he won it in 2018. Oliver Gray, who is now racing in British Formula 4, he won this event in 2019. And Aaron Walker won it in 2020. There is the E-plate.
Just spotted the 14 of Josh Agenbar being pushed right back through to his original starting spot. So that will be good news for him.
Yeah, there's the
7th
row. And of course Charlie Webb as well will, you know, be breathing a sigh of relief. So there's Ethan Simmons, last year's Mini X30 GP plate winner. I'm just having a glance at the rest of the entries, and yeah, it's Simmons, the only, it's Connor Duncan in the number 31 car. He won the GP plate in Cadet Honda last year. So 2 drivers in the field know what it's like to win one of these GP plates, know what it's like to win Kartmasters. Everyone else still searching for their first their first race here at Kartmasters. Now, good luck to Connor Duncan from Hayden Eldridge. Hayden Eldridge at 10 minutes into the first practice session of the British Championship season at Shennington, Hayden Eldridge broke his arm and has been out ever since, but he is nearly back to fitness, and we hope to see Hayden back in a kart with us at the British Championship very soon. I think they're watching from Portugal at the moment, which is very nice for them. It's very good.
We could be watching from Portugal right now.
I mean, it couldn't be any hotter than it is in this commentary box at the moment, Anthony. There's Connor Duncan, number 31, the driver from West Calder, whose hero is the great Jim Clark. There we go. Now there's Connor sitting alone with his thoughts. There's the number 271 car. That's the BMR Restart driver, Harvey Ryby. There, and again, it gives us a great chance to say iridium visor.
Iridium.
Iridium.
Iridium is your favourite word,
It's
isn't it?
It's one of my favourite words. Kebab is another one.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Nap is another word. Pint? There we go. That's
that one piqued my interest quite a lot.
Yes.
Now, Harvey Ryby.
Please enlighten us as to his progress.
Well, over this weekend,
Yes.
he qualified 4th for the pre-final.
Very good.
He qualified 9th in his first time qualifying on the Friday.
Not bad.
He had a 3rd place finish in his first heat.
Promising.
An 8th place finish in his second heat.
Nah.
7th in his 3rd. And then 10th in his 4th.
But doing well here. You're doing well here, yes. Now, here is the ambulance coming back up the short chute the wrong way behind the camera, so we're not seeing it at the moment. That would contain Mr. Geraghty, I am certain, so that's a good thing that he has walked into the ambulance. I'd say we're not going to speculate or comment on his personal well-being, because we simply don't know, but it's safe to say to Kian's family and friends watching at home that he got out of his cart, walked off, then had a little bit of a lie down while the medics attended to him, and now he's walked into the back of the ambulance, where they will go and see for once and for all what may be the problem. But again, it looked like it was the wrist, arm, collarbone type area that may require some attention. The Mick Barrett Racing driver there, looking at on your screens now. There's a mark there, number 6, Never Forgotten. Now that is the number 66 car. That is Freddie Allen. Obviously paying tribute to fallen driver, number 6. There is Sam Baker, one of Jack Deck's racing drivers, and Milo Pilfold, the white egg, who is not the white egg now because he hasn't got his wet weather crash helmet on, which is plain white, and he's starting in the back. So, engines are refired, and we will go back out for our second attempt at the full Junior X30 2021 Kartmasters British Kart Grand Prix, and somebody has not got started, and I'm looking down that somebody...
76.
Oh
Mackay
dear,
Singh.
Mackay Singh. Now, where was Mackay due to start? He was due to start there. Oh dear, and there are karts now trying to get around him. Oh, Mackay Singh for Dan Holland Racing. That he's got his hand down there, his right hand down his there. Now we get the engine restarter thingy out to kick that unit into life. Will it? Oh, there's an issue there. Is it going to go? Is it going to go? Is it going to go? Lee Manchester there helping the mechanic out. Oh no! And fair play. That looks to me like it was John Stewart's mechanic for the Jade Racing team. So it's not one of not one of the Dan Holland mechanics. That was a rival trying to get that engine started, and good sportsmanship there. Sadly, Mackay Singh out of the restart. He will not take this restart out of the race. His Kartmasters is over.
He's all looking so well. It's here now, back at the front. Hit the restart button because Junior X30, their final, is about to get underway. Into the tram lines. Is it green flag? No. It's a false start. They're going round again.
Well, I've got to say, I'm not very happy about this. They're cutting into Chris McCarthy's airtime here.
They are, yeah.
Yeah, and most inconsiderate of them.
I know, how dare they.
We'll sort them out. There we go. Yeah, we need value for Chris, value for money. We want to speak the drivers. We don't want to rush through these this last post-race celebration just because these pesky drivers decide to roll their karts and then have false starts. That really rhymed, I think. Yes.
There you go.
I'm a poet.
And you didn't even know it.
And wasn't aware of the fact. The rain, the threat of rain is abated. You can see that so the cloud is still grey, but it's lightened up. It's now that there's high cloud. Here's the number 222 car of Oliver Stewart from Inverness. I tell you, Inverness Caledonian Thistle is one of my favourite. It's almost as good as Hamilton Academicals in my all-time favourite list of Scottish football team names.
So I'm going to pretend I know what you're talking about.
Yes,
so,
yep, very good.
Yes,
Harry Burgoyne Jr. is on the front there, so it's an all Scottish front row. I'm going to take a swig of Iron Brew in celebration of the fact.
Excellent. You do that. Try not to fall off your chair. We'll get this Junior X30 race hopefully underway this time. Now, Burgoyne Jr. needs to hurry up a little bit here because he's lacking that second line. There he goes. He comes alongside. Oh, he's gone early and into the tram lines we go. Is it green flag?
Nope.
No, it isn't. Another false start. Now they have to be careful.
Oh, yes.
Because even though we have already started this race, I think the rule still applies.
Oh, hang on. That's number 99, Finley Harrison.
I think he still thought we were racing.
Yes, I think Sam Shaw was also of the same opinion. Oh, Masi Bougash. The Algerian Karting Federation have tuned in and have supporting that Leo Robinson's victory. Good to see you. Oh, good to see you. Well, good to see you typing, Massey.
Yeah, good to hear from you.
Yes.
There we go. Third time is hopefully
a charm.
Yeah. Otherwise, they'll be told off. There we go. Nigel Edwards is in the middle of the track. He's waving his clipboard.
There's finger wagging. There's clipboard wagging. There's all sorts going on out there. They've got the message, I think, is what we want to say.
Oh, yes.
Loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I'll look at my feet, sir.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go again. We are down to 33 drivers. Kian Garrity, Micaiah Singh and Jack Cox not out there, sadly. So 33 drivers for 15 minutes plus 1 lap into the Mike Wilson complex. The 222 of Oliver Stewart, the 68 of Harry Burgoyne Jr. Then behind them, the 230 Fusion Motorsports Brandon Carr and the number 41 Mad Croc kart of Gabriel Stelp.
Out the final corner they go into the tram lines. It's not going to be a start this time around.
Do you know what? Someone's in trouble.
Someone's
in trouble here.
Oh dear.
This is, I mean, it is the summer holidays. We've got tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, oh, right. Now, in the centre of the short shoot, are they going to throw the red flag? They haven't thrown the red flags yet. No, they haven't thrown the red flags yet. But You know, now there in the centre of your screen, you can see Nigel Edwards standing just past the white line of the short chute. He's moving around. He is about ready to give the final warning. Now here he is. Now we're standing in the middle of the track. Look, what's going on? What's going on, drivers? What is going on? What are you playing at? You will go to the back. You will. I'm looking at you. Yeah. You will go to the back.
Yeah, that's one more attempt. He's giving them one last chance here to get this race underway. Here we go then. Out of the Fullerton Estes.
Now the cynic in me would say that if Harry Burgoyne's been given his last chance, does Oliver Stewart really hang back? Really hang back, so that Harry Burgoyne is like left way in front.
But it's the front
but
row,
then,
isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But then I suppose Oliver Stewart would get there. So the other cynic in me says, does Gabriel Stilp and Brandon Carr push the driver in front of them to create a false start situation, because then they would inherit the space in the front row? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Devil's advocate. Oh, yeah. I've seen stranger things, and let's see. So finally, Burgoyne Jr. leads them to the field. Lights are out. Now we're up and racing. Stewart tries to cut across, but Burgoyne Jr. has the lead. Oh, and over the grass goes Brandon Carr. He comes back online, but right down the order, he's lost himself about a dozen places as we head round the banking on lap number 1.
Stilp into third place. Good start from him as well as they concertina up over the bridge, 3 wide. They all come out. Someone running slightly wide there. One of the MDL karts moving up. I think it's the 99 of Finley Harrison up into P3, but loses it instantly from the Mad Croc himself, Mr. Stilp.
I've got a great start. I mean, a great weekend for Finley Harrison so far. Oh, Harry Burgoyne Jr. A 5-second penalty, and also for the number 222 of Oliver Stewart. No. Both front row drivers will be given a 5-second penalty for that. Oh, that throws the cat well and truly amongst the karting pigeons. But the 2 front row drivers, both a 5-second penalty for repeated false starts. Now, that means Gabriel Stilp in the number 41 kart leads this race, and it's going to be a 2-part race. It's going to be one eye on the timing screen, one eye on the track. The numbers have gone out on the digiboard, so Burgoyne and Stewart have seen the fact they've got a penalty.
Right. Now, what does this mean? Do they work together now?
Yes.
Do they work together? They just say, right, okay, we're not battling each other, let's just go, because if we've both got one, we're both out of this race, so we might as well just work together and try and open a 5-second gap.
Well, for the next 13 minutes, you work together. You try and get a 6-second gap on everyone else, and then on the last lap of the race, then you battle.
Yeah, definitely.
That's exactly what you do, if only they listened.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wish you listened sometime. There we go. 13 minutes into Bobby Game Corner. Ryby there just getting passed by one of the Fusion karts. I think who that was.
Number 24, I believe, of Charlie Webb, who is breathing a sigh of relief. Now there's side by side, there's Nathan Chafer in the number Micah Taylor, sorry, in the number 248 kart, CRG.
Stilp's not allowing them to get away, though, because down the inside, Stilp, the 41.
Oh, now, Gabriel, this is where you've got to think, Gabriel. Sit behind them. You're winning this race, even though you're third. Sit behind them. Just let them battle.
Yeah, exactly that. Warning flag to Taylor, the 248, as they exit out.
Stilp's gone into second, up into P2. And there's Sam Shaw in the premium karting number 7 going around the outside of, I think that was Charlie Webb in the number 24 Fusion kart. Now, last year in Mini X30, Anthony, you and I commentated on Gabriel Stilp against Leo Robinson against Vinnie Phillips all season.
Yep.
Stilp was the only non-Fusion driver battling up at the front of that class all year. Time and time again he led the race, and time again he got spat out right at the end and never got to stand the top step of the podium. This is his chance. This is his chance, and he's taking it. And look at the number 99 of Finley Harrison.
Yeah, this could be a second place of Finley Harrison, and he sets the fastest lap of the race as well. 59.540 as they go down the hill into the braking zone. Down the inside goes the 99 of Harrison, moves up into P3. Burgoyne Jr. falling down the order, now in P4. Stewart looks like he's now in trouble as well as Harrison is on the move, but a gap has opened up. It looks like Stewart has now closed the gap on Stilp.
Well, the gap between Harrison in 4th and Luke Watts in the number 4 kart who runs in P5 is 2 seconds. Burgoyne back to the inside of Finley Harrison. This is where now Harry Burgoyne and Oliver Stewart are going to be thinking, how can I somehow manufacture a place on the podium? Oliver Stewart thinks my best chance is to just follow the race leader and pull away, because if I get 5 seconds over the driver behind me, I'm still second. Gabriel Stilp, this is a perfect opportunity for Gabriel Stilp. He comes from a long, his dad Jonathan Stilp, his older brother Jacob Stilp, his cousin Jordan Stilp. And now Gabriel Stilp has a chance to seal the deal and win a GP plate. The 2 drivers directly behind him have both got penalties. Gabriel Stilp's nearest rival on track is the number 99 MDL kart of Finley Harrison, who is having the race of his life. Without being unkind, he is not a name that we usually call at the front of a field of the British Championship. But this weekend at Kartmasters, he has got the bit between his teeth. And there's number 36 out, Sam Baker for Jack Dex Racing, sadly out of the race. But Stilp has the advantage.
In across the line, in towards turn 1, under the bridge they go. Up the hill there, you see Stewart running slightly wide. Down the inside, though, goes Harrison on Burgoyne Jr. Moves back up into P3 as they head down the hill. Ryby with the fastest lap of the race, the 271, 59.020 in 8th place at the moment. Out of hairpin number 1 they go, in towards hairpin 2. Once more, 9.5 minutes left on the timer. This race is not looking good for Stewart and Burgoyne Jr., but Stewart dives to the inside of Stilp and gets the lead back. Now he needs to focus. Now he's saying to Stilp, come on, let's go, because you can still win this one, Stilp, if you're right behind me.
Well,
Prize 1 second place.
But Gabriel Stilp has now got something else to worry about, because Finley Harrison, the only other driver in the top 4 who hasn't got a time penalty, is now right behind Gabriel Stilp. Can Finley, I said it this morning, Anthony, I said every Kartmasters you always get one complete shock, and Finley Harrison could be it. Crossover, he takes the lead, he's going back in on Gabriel. Now don't take each other out, because you're only 2 without a time penalty in the top 4. You've got to try and get it across the line. Here comes Finley Harrison for effectively the race win at the moment. We've still got 8.5 minutes to go. Burgoyne Jr. comes back in. And I tell you who this is helping.
It's Mr. Luke Watts.
No, it's Mr. Oliver Stewart, who's leading the race and is now pulling away. Well, it is helping Luke Watts. You were correct.
He's closing in.
Yeah, yes, he is. But I mean, Oliver Stewart.
Yeah,
now let's have a little look. Okay. So Oliver Stewart, at the start of this lap, he was a 1/10 of a second in front of second place. He is going to be much further ahead at the end of this lap. The more they battle, Fairbrother and Burgoyne Jr. and Stilp, the more they battle, the further away Oliver Stewart will get.
Let's see, they cross the line. It's only half a second, though, at the moment.
Yeah, it went up by 4/10. They've calmed down. They've calmed down. Harrison leads the race. Finley Harrison leads the race. Somebody has had an exhaust fall off. Yes. I can see them going under the bridge. We will find out who that is next time around. Down the hill, it was Olivier Algeri, who is out of the race in the number 238 Dan Holland Racing kart. But yeah, there's Luke Watts, who is now effectively in second place. So Luke Watts for Kato Motorsport. Up into P2, there's Connor Duncan, last year's Cadet Honda champion. He's past Gabriel Stilp. Stilp is fading.
This is a disaster for Stilp as they go through. That's properly come off.
And there goes the number 54 car past him. So Joseph Rippin has also had a delay, and so Algeri is about to retire.
Yeah, that is a shame. 6.5 minutes to go then. This race still far from over, because Stewart is still leading over the line, but it's only by 0.3 of a second from Harrison. Burgoyne Jr. still there in 3rd place. Watts closing in for Kato Motorsport. The number 4 kart up 5 positions so far, but there's one group from 1st to 9th here in Junior X30.
Now, taking with a 5-second time penalty for Stewart and for Burgoyne Jr. Effectively leading this race at the moment is the number 99 of Finley Harrison. Luke Watts in the number 4 kart is second. Luke Watts has got Finley Harrison has got the sort of the buffer of Harry Burgoyne Jr. between him and his nearest on-track rival. Now, of course, not sure that everybody would have seen that, so we don't know who know. I mean, we know that the two lead. We know that Stewart. We know that Burgoyne Jr. have seen the fact they've got a penalty. Harrison looks over his shoulder. Is he aware that he is currently effectively leading the race? Luke Watts is second. Let's check the gaps. Well, there's a 0.96 of a second back to Luke Watts from the race leader. It's 2 seconds back to Connor Duncan. Gabriel still stuck his nose at the inside of Duncan briefly. Connor Duncan, the other young Scotsman, is effectively in third place. But they don't want to battle too much. Duncan and Stilp and the drivers directly behind him, Sam Shaw, you can see in the midst of that there, they don't want to battle too much, because the further they fall behind Stewart and Burgoyne, the fact that Stewart and Burgoyne's penalty might still keep them ahead in the final results.
Well, yeah, that definitely would be the case as they go through 5.5 minutes left on the timer into the Mike Wilson complex now. And again, it's such a tough one on these top three, because Stewart and Burgoyne, they definitely know they have the penalty there, but Harrison, he probably wasn't paying attention because he didn't see his number, so he just thought, that's not me, I won't care. I look at it, but down the inside goes Harrison on Stewart into the banking, over the bridge they go. Great move. Harrison now, the 99 MDL driver, leading this Grand Prix final.
Well, when Mark Litchfield, who ran the MLR, Mark Litchfield Racing Team, and his dad Dave, who ran Litchfield Racing, decided to join forces to create MDL Racing. And Finley Harrison dives in very, very deep. I was going to say Mark Litchfield, a four-time Kartmasters champion, in my eyes, one of the finest kart racers of the last 25 years that Great Britain has produced. He's on that top table, is Mark Litchfield. He has imparted his wisdom on Finley Harrison this weekend, but Luke Watts is now right behind Finley Harrison. So the two drivers who lead across the line, Stewart and Burgoyne Jr., have got a 5-second penalty, and that at the moment would drop them back out of the top 10 still with 4 minutes to go. The battle for the race win is between the 99, the third kart in this line, Finley Harrison, and the number 4 Cato Motorsport kart, Cato Adams, one of the team owners that is a former Kartmasters champion. That's the battle, the third and fourth karts. That is the current battle for the win.
Yes, it is. You are correct there. So as they go into hairpin number 2, 3.5 minutes to go. That technically there is third place, and still it is.
It's still in third place, but look at that.
Yeah.
This group of karts now is allowing Stewart and Burgoyne to maybe snatch a podium. They're slowing into the down so much, the gap is going to grow between this bunch and fourth place very quickly. Stewart and Burgoyne still might nick a podium.
Oh, look at that. Class of Motorsport there, all over the curbs. Reese Lomax, that is, out of the final corner, still managing to get the breakaway now. Very defensive. Two of the Fusion karts on the start-finish line. They slot back in. They go through. The gap now to Still is over 5 seconds.
So at the moment, the gap between Oliver Stewart and Gabriel Still is 4.4 seconds. Oliver Stewart just needs an extra 0.6 of a second over Stilp. Oh, he's not going to get it because they're starting to battle for the race lead now. I was going to say Stewart needs another 0.6 of a second to get onto the podium. So does Burgoyne, as long as they don't battle. And this is the battle for the race win. Harrison and Luke Watts. Just let the other two go, boys. Let the other two go. This is the battle for the win. Watts to the inside of the Bobby Gane corner with 2.25 minutes to go.
Great move there down the inside again. Now with those two scrapping, but Burgoyne Jr. and Stewart have broken away slightly as they exit the final corner. That 2 minutes running out. Look at them going, but there you can see the concentration on Watts. He's saying, come on, let's go. Harrison nodding his head in agreement as they go under the bridge. Now up the hill. What is the gap between Burgoyne Jr.?
It's 4.1 seconds, Anthony. 4.1 seconds between Burgoyne Jr. and Gabriel Stilp, who is 5th. It's 0.9 of a second separate Burgoyne Jr. and a place on the podium. Not the win, a place on the podium. Luke Watts leads this race, even though he's third on the road. Finley Harrison is second, and of course Oliver Stewart now moves into the on-track lead. Gabriel Stilp, however, is Still always, Gabriel Stillp and Harvey Ryby are within 5 seconds. Stewart and Burgoyne Jr. aren't on the podium yet.
No, they are not. 1 minute left on the timer. Out of the mark, or out of the complex section they go. Back on to the start-finish straight now. Check the gap. What is it? It was 3.1, 3.14 this time around. It's not really changed as they go up the hill again. This is looking good for Stillp for a potential podium spot.
Look, now we look back as they, on this camera shot here. There's Stillp. Oh, he's just been caught. Stillp has just been caught by Harvey Ryby. If they start battling, Stewart and Burgoyne still have a chance to the podium. Luke Watts has just put Harry Burgoyne Jr. between himself and Finley Harrison. Harrison has got to get past Burgoyne Jr. to have a run at Watts.
Yeah, they will indeed. 20 seconds left on the timer into the chicane. Karting 1 says that I don't think any of them are aware they have the penalty, so we'll find out as they go through, because this is some close, fierce racing we are seeing at the moment. Luke Watts, that number 4 you are seeing in second place, is leading this race because Steadman and Burgoyne Jr. have got that 5-second time penalty. 1 second left on that timer means that we've got 2 more laps of this race.
2 laps to go. There's the move from Finley Harrison. Critical move from Finley Harrison. He had to get past Burgoyne Jr. Now, effective, the race leader is in front of him, Luke Watts. Stewart, head down. His lead over the 5th place driver, Gabriel Stillp, is 3.4 seconds. He needs to pull out another 1.6 seconds on Gabriel Stillp to still get a podium. Harrison forcing Burgoyne Jr. wide. Is that it for Finley Harrison?
Speculation on the screen whether or not Watts' nose cone looks a bit loose and low. It might look like it. We'll find out at the end of the race, but the timer strikes 0. A few more corners to go. Last lap board out this time for these drivers. Steadman leading on track, but he will not be leading on paper when the checker flag goes out after this lap. Final lap board is out for Junior X30 Grand Prix final.
Oliver Stewart is still just 3.4 seconds ahead of 5th place. Luke Watts in kart number 4 has the effective race lead. Finley Harrison, 3rd on the road, runs 2nd. And there is Harvey Ryby and Gabriel. Well, Harvey Ryby has driven himself potentially on to the podium. But Luke Watts, well, Kato Adams was a winner of Kartmasters in the very first year, 1996. He now runs a team. It's a small team. They don't have a lot of drivers. They do things their own way, and Luke Watts could potentially be on his way to Kartmasters glory. Finley Harrison has driven an absolutely epic race to take 2nd. Oliver Stewart is going to cross the line. We'll see who celebrates most, Anthony.
We'll find out in just a moment. 1 corner to go. It's Stewart on the track who's going to see the checkered flag. He celebrates. I don't think he's aware of the penalty.
He's not.
Watts crosses in 2nd. Technically, he could win this championship, but that front nose cone looks dodgy. We don't know who has won this GP plate as of yet. It could be the 99 of Finley Harrison, who crosses the line 3rd, potentially could win that GP plate.
Now, the penalty for a drop nose cone is 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Stewart has got a 5-second penalty. He crossed the line like he didn't know it. So the winner on the track is Oliver Stewart. We have seen a 5-second penalty applied. But, well, let's just see. I mean, okay, behind the top 4, on the road, Harvey Ryby finishes 5th. Gabriel Stillp 6th. Marcus Lutzio up to 7th. Sam Shaw 8th. I'm really sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't get a chance to have a really good rundown of the field in that one. We normally do our very best to make sure that every driver gets a good couple of mentions, but there was just so much happening at the front of that, you know, that with the penalties and what have you, that we had to focus on. Now, here we go. So, Stewart, no penalty. Watts, hang on. There's the official with the iPad. Watts. No penalty. Now, is that Oliver Stewart telling Luke Watts that he had a penalty, and I think he won? And there is Finley Harrison shaking hands. Oh, my word. There's Burgoyne Jr.
I think he's aware now.
I think he is aware. Let's see. I mean, this is going to be very, I mean, people will say, oh, well, you know, it should be who wins on the track. But, of course, no. I mean, it's a non-contact sport. There's rules for a reason. the fact that we've got cameras down there helps us explain to the audience a lot more about what goes on behind the scenes, so that the people back home who maybe aren't involved in karting, they're just watching it as a spectator sport, they know, you know, that they know what goes on and maybe the reasons why. Now, hang on a second. So, this is confusion, and I don't want to be... 4.99 and 271. Luke Watts, Finley Harrison and Harvey Ryby. Oh, Oliver Stewart there. Oh, you cannot fathom the disappointment. There's Oliver Stewart in the red and white race suit walking off there, just saying, oh, what had gone on. But we heard the signal. So Luke Watts has just won this race. We're at the start of 2020. Luke Watts had his van with all his karting gear stolen from him. And there is man like James Bean congratulating him. He's Luke's mechanic for the thing. And I have to say, you know, Luke, he's done very, very well there. He's to come back. And he's, you know, him and the Cato Motorsport team, Cato Adams, will be, listen, Finley Harrison, well, Anthony Jordan, how did Finley Harrison do in the build-up to this? Pray tell.
Finley Harrison, well, the 99 plate. He qualified 9th with all the points in total for the pre-final. He qualified 7th on the first day, 31st place after a retirement in race 1. So he got the 31 points, 3rd place finish in his second race, 5th place in his third, and a 3rd place in his 4th.
That is the weekend, that is the racing weekend of his life so far, hands down. You know, I can't pretend to have seen every single race that Finley Harrison has driven before, but he will not have had a better weekend than this. Absolutely not. And Harvey Ryby, well, Harvey Ryby made the move on Gabriel Stilp at the end. It was for 5th on the road. It turns out to be P3. He finished 3.2 seconds behind Oliver Stewart. Oliver Stewart was 1.8 seconds away from overturning that 5-second penalty. And Chris McCarthy is about to speak to, I would imagine, a pretty stunned Luke Watts.
Thank you, Henry. We'll take your crash helmet off, Luke, and then we'll have a chat with you. Wow. Wow, 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 what a race that was. Very, very tense to watch all the way to the end. Give them all a round of applause. Luke Watts, you followed in the footsteps of your team manager, Cato Adams, and become Kartmasters champion.
Yeah, 20 years ago, Beanie and Cato won the Kartmasters GP plate. So 20 years later, I win. It's quite good.
It's been a tough year for you, hasn't it? Because you're running overweight in Junior X30, so you haven't really done much racing in it. You came here last month in the wet, you won. You came here this month in the dry, thinking you maybe didn't have a chance, but that was the race of your life, wasn't it, to get that win?
Slow and steady behind, always wins the race.
Did you know on track that you'd won?
Pardon?
Did you know that when you came across the line that you'd won the race, or did you not know?
No, I didn't. Quite unlucky for him. I feel it's unlucky.
How did it feel when you got back to the pits and you found out you won?
Very happy. It's good. Good.
Well, you're following in the footsteps of your team boss and your mechanic as well, because James Bean also won. Him and Cato won on the same weekend. Who would you like to thank, Luke?
Thanks to Cato Motorsport, my mechanic, family for supporting me.
Well done to our winner, Luke Watts. There's going to be a party at KMS tonight. Wow. Well, okay. We'll try and grab a word for you in a sec. Second place of Finley Harrison. Well, you know, Mark Litchfield knows how to win these. How does it feel to be on the podium?
Feels happy, especially after the highs and lows we've had, especially last month with our tyre failure. Hard race, Luke Watts drove well. Thank you to both Mark, Dave, my dad, and Gus Lawrence, who's racing there in the senior.
Were you in the same situation where you didn't really know out there the situation on track?
Yeah, I mean, at every point, you know, we took the lead at one point, and yeah, it was just a hard race.
It was, wasn't it? But it was a very hard race, and you know, you've made such good progress over the last couple of years since racing with Mark. How does it feel now to be on the podium?
Amazing, another step forward in the books.
And who else would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank my dad as well, who's standing over there. Thank you, Dad.
Well done, Finley Harrison, second place. Harvey Ryby. BMR on the podium. Harvey, I remember interviewing you when you were club champion at fullback over there. How does it feel to be on the podium here?
Yeah, it's so good. I'm happy to be this far up. I wasn't expecting it when I came in, but I'm just glad to take a third away.
You drove a fantastic race all the way through. I bet you didn't know you were on the podium either.
Nah, I wasn't sure. I just came in the pits. I was told, and I'm amazed. It's so good.
Well, the reaction here was brilliant when the result was confirmed by Henry and DJ. Who would you like to thank?
I just want to thank the team, my mum and my dad, and Johnny, my mechanic.
Well done to Harvey Ryby, third place. Give him a round of applause. While we're waiting, I want to grab a word. I'm going to grab a word with Kato, actually, just very quickly. Come out on track, Kato. Come out on track. KMS, Kartmasters champions. You've won this 20 years ago, and now your driver wins it.
I'm gobsmacked, absolutely gobsmacked. I think James Bean come out with a comment, how do you win Kartmasters? You've got to have big...
I pulled the mic.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it, but I'm so proud of the kid. That's the one to win.
Well done, Kato. Brilliant stuff. Next up, we're going to go from Junior X30. Catch your breath. Last race is coming up, Senior X30.
Now we go into our penultimate final. We go towards Junior X30, race 59 of the weekend. Again, we'll start with third place. Again, ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause, please, for, as my voice goes, third place driver in the 271 BMR, Harvey Ryby. Well done, Harvey. Go on. Well done. Then on to our second. Yeah, without dropping anything. Dignified. There we go. On to our second place driver in Junior X30. Huge round of applause, please, for the 99 MDL driver, Finley Harrison. Hands out your pockets, lift the trophy up. You've just come second at Kartmasters. Sort it out, Mr. Finley. Yeah, don't drop the lid. Right, now on to our race winner for Junior X30. Again, a huge round of applause, please, for the number 4 driver for Kato Motorsport, Luke Watts. And again, presenting the GP plate is James Mills. And of course, the Miami World Finals ticket entry. Very, very nice. Right. So, and the extra cup there as well. Right, Luke Watts, what a day you've had. You had a pretty good running up into the weekend as well. Got a bit shaky in the pre-finals, but come the final, it looked very comfortable for you.
Excellent final in the end. Good battle. Managed to get through then. Good win.
I mean, again, talk us through, because it was a melee of kind of penalties and not knowing what happened, but again, you kind of came through. It was a tough old race still at the end, but again, it must be a good feeling to win Kartmasters.
Yeah, finally done it. 20 years from Kato and James Bean, and finally get to win.
Anyone you would like to thank?
Thank you to KMS Motorsport, my mechanic, James Bean, and my dad, Alice, Toby, and Walter.
Excellent stuff. Well, Chris, would you like to get a photo before the champagne comes out? Okay, get a photo before the champagne comes out. There we go. Wait, don't get the champagne out yet. There we go. Bottles at the ready. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause, please, for Junior X30. Hey, champagne! Oh, no. Oh, poor Luke. Oh, no. We're going to need a lifeguard after that. Again, slippery when wet, this surface. Be careful. Have you still not got it open yet? Hit it on the floor. There it is. Go on, it's payback time now. Sort them out. Well done, guys. Again, ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause, please, for your Junior X30. Oh, it wasn't me. I didn't shake yours up before you went out. Look at Claire. She's currently holding the next group of bottles. Well done, guys. Go and congratulate. You're a bit wet now, aren't you? There you go. You're carrying everything down there. Well done, Luke. You go. So I'll do my bit. I'll get the bottle off. Yeah, that's heavy lifting here. Heavy lifting. Right, now we go on to our special awards for the Kartmasters weekend, and we start with the BRUNO FERRARI Trophy. Now this goes out to an IAME cadet or X30 junior driver from the Ferrari family as the selector. Can we get a huge round of applause, please, for junior X30 number 11, Marcus Luzio, winning £100 donated by the Ferrari family. Yeah. Grab your trophies, grab your trophies. Where's Mr. Chris Walker? That's a big old trophy, that is. Can you lift it? And presented, of course, yes, by Mr. Steve Miller. Forgot to mention that bit. I won't forget the next one. Promise. Excellent stuff.
Nearly made the podium, made 16 places up. Yeah.
Excellent. Of course, well, an excellent result there for Marcus Luzio. Of course, a very tough race, gaining several positions in the final, of course, gaining up 16 places to get almost onto the podium after a very tough weekend. So a great result there for Marcus Luzio. On to now our second special award. We present the Tony Hanley Trophy, and this will be presented by Mr. Nigel Edwards, who joins us on the podium now. A Honda Cadet driver who has shown resilience, perseverance and determination over the Kartmasters race weekend, is selector of the Clark team, and a huge round of applause. And wins an RI CK6 helmet as well, custom one, as a courtesy of Project One. Thank you, Mr. Nigel Edwards, thank you. Huge round of applause, please, for Honda driver number 23, Aris Majuskas. Exceptional resilience. I suspect. Lovely big trophy, that one. He's just coming up now. Excellent stuff. Round of applause, please, for Aris Majuskas. Right, on to our next trophy, the Nicholas Lewis Trophy. This will be presented by Danielle Short, who comes up now. Now, this trophy is towards a Junior Max driver posting the fastest lap of, or in, the Grand Prix this weekend. And that will go to the number 4 Junior Max driver, Sam Gornall. Fastest lap all weekend. There we go, in Junior Max. And, of course, winning a 2022 Trent Valley Kart Club membership. I need to get me one of those. Excellent stuff. Well done there to Sam Gornall. We head now to our next award, the Delta RACEWEAR Award. Now, this award will be awarded by Theo Makuris here, who unfortunately didn't take part this weekend, which is unfortunate. Your first one you've not taken part in, is it, Theo? So this, of course, goes to the driver gaining the most places in their Grand Prix. And that award goes to a familiar face, Honda 23, Aris Majewskis. A look of surprise on your face there. Did you not know you'd gained the most places in your Grand Prix? Again, presenting the award, Theo Makuris. That's definitely one you don't want to drop. And a custom-designed race suit donated by Delta RACEWEAR as well. So with a new helmet donated by Project One, you got a new race suit as well. You know, you got a full kit. Now, we move on to our 5th special award. This one is the Spirit of Kartmasters Award. I like the sound of that one. It will be presented by Danielle Short, and it was the selector, Danielle Short, as well. The driver who has portrayed great spirit during the course of the Kartmasters weekend. Big round of applause, please, for Minimax driver 37, Reg Hayward. Reg also winning the Kart Sim software donated by Kart Sim as well, so you can practice those laps around the track as well while you're at it. Big smile, come on, you can hear everyone there. Excellent, round of applause please for Reg Hayward, Spirit of Kartmasters Award. Again, presented by Daniel Short. Now, on to our final special award. This one, well, this one's a biggie. It's the Driver of the Day Award, and it will be presented by Mr. Nigel Edwards with his daunting clipboard, who he hasn't got now, which is good because he's not as threatening without his clipboard. And, of course, getting the entry and practice to all 4 rounds of the Autumn Cup here at Trent Valley Kart Club. A huge round of applause, please, for Junior Max driver number 40, Jamie Perrelli. Has he bolted? Oh, dear me. We were on such a good record. We were doing well, weren't we, Nige? No, he's gone. Well, excellent stuff. Well, the award will go to himself, and yes, we there we go, Nigel. You get your photos there. Well, again, excellent stuff. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, you have all enjoyed Kartmasters 2021, of course, sponsored by Redline. Nigel, you've got a word?
Big thank you, guys. Thank you very much for being here. Hope you enjoyed the podium. We're nearly back to normal, not quite, but brilliant. Great to see you. Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Great words there from Neil. And again, thank you very much, guys. Have a safe drive home. And now photos, I think, are going to start, aren't they?